Yes, we will recite in English. Thus have I once heard the blessed one was staying in Rajgraha at Vulture Peak along with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas.
And at that time, this one fully entered the meditative concentration on the varieties of phenomena called the appearance of the profound. At that very time as well, Alva Teshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, beheld the practice itself of the profound perfection of wisdom, and he even saw the five aggregates as empty of inherent nature. Thereupon, through the Buddha's inspiration, the Venerable Shariputra spoke to the holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and said, "Any noble son who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should train in what way?" When this had been said, holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, spoke to the Venerable Shariputra and said, "Shariputra, any noble sons or daughters who wish to practice the perfection of wisdom should see this way. They should see insightfully, correctly, and repeatedly that even the five aggregates are empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. Likewise, sensation, discrimination, conditioning, and awareness are empty. In this way, Shariputra, all things are emptiness. They are without defining characteristics. They are not born. They do not cease. They are not defiled. They are not undefiled. They have no increase. They have no decrease. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no sensation, no discrimination, no conditioning, and no awareness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. There is no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no texture, no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on up to no mind element, and also up to no element of mental awareness. There is no ignorance and no elimination of ignorance, and so on up to no aging and death, and there is no elimination of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, origin, sensation, or path. There is no wisdom, no attainment, and even no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, since the Bodhisattvas have no attainment, they abide relying on the perfection of wisdom. Having no defilements in their minds, they have no fear, and passing completely beyond fear, they reach nirvana. Likewise, all the Buddhas abiding in the three times clearly and completely awakened, unself, authentic, and complete awakening, independence upon the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, once you know the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of the great knowledge, the precious mantra, the unexcelled mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that quells all suffering, is true because it is not deceptive. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Hariha, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Gate, Gone, gone, gone beyond, gone utterly beyond, enlightenment hailed. Thereupon the Blessed One arose from that meditative concentration, and he commended Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being. Excellent, he said. Excellent, excellent, noble child, it is just so. Noble child, it is just so. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom in the manner that you have revealed. The Tathagata rejoiced. This is what the Blessed One said. Thereupon, the venerable Sovereign Teacher, the Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, and that entire assembly along the world of gods, humans, stars, and Gandharvas, all rejoiced and highly praised what the Blessed One had said.
kunzo gele che wandimbe ku tayende ro to male she jin tu ko sagi ka bota la ta lo lo ven da ta ba ge umon ju be na tambo ngaje da la jingi je da ge bijing wala chage zujun chil da rawa me ba yin rola ni jit ku ba te la ji je so na yin je ani chik ngara to le tambo wa ge ta ge khora khorthang te kande ji yor ga tambo jilta kunda da lenki e wangi ani chik nga singbe nganjinji jilta te wangi jilta tabe nganjin te gi wangi ngai rochi nga ta ngai ru wangi ani nyomong wangi lesa ani chik thage zuchingi thubur na ja ram ba ni be ta thosi be temoni marnya kam chege portu de 참고할 때 또 순간에 인디가라 집중하라는 종원에 타바 양한다가 타바 땡이 길어진 데기에나 보다 가지 담보 질타도 뭐 지금 와도 뺏게 깨진 거래 와다 내에 와 네네 보다 이 아니 소 하게 질림이 봐 나진지 내 누구 다야 돼 다 실증이 될 값은 다 세부 송거하래 인디 대치고 차려
Chandrakriti in his text engaging middle way path the verse in which he says begins with the first, it begins with the attachment to I, and then mine, and then with this attachment, one leads to the unending, cycle of samsara, cyclic existence, and so here, as he said, the ordinary human being, they start from what we called view of transitory collection, and when this one is further categorized into imputated view of transitory collection and innate view of transitory collection, and both of these two actually refers to I and mine, the very root cause of the cyclic existence. So with these two root cause, I and mine, leads to ignorance, delusions, defilement, and defilement leads to creation of a karma, negative karma, and then the creation of that karma leads to rebirth in the cyclic existence. So it is like the example used here is kind of tin or bucket. I don't know what is the exact word, but in ancient India, the farmer used to kind of draw water from the lake. They just in a circle. Like that kind of mechanism, the ordinary sentient beings kind of keeps in the cycle. The highest level is called the peak of the cyclic existence, and the lowest is unending hell. So these two, within those two kind of wrench, this cyclic sentient beings kind of keeps in the cycle of samsara. And so here, when we talk about how we get reborn in samsara again and again, we need to understand and identify what is I and what is mine, and what is the object of observation or the target of our mind when we talk about I and mine. And the Sutra of Transcendental Wisdom, deals with this kind of basic, cause of the cyclic existence, and we are studying, the precise kind of text or summary of this text, Heart Sutra.
Tendi du galata hage shirjing de khabdola zun namchen pardo shedamje dembar me basun du gala ko hage ngaranzo phaginen du sambe samjuji da phagini yiwa nangendala tos nugu du ase hage rajin me tenjin de wan jungare se sunu du gala chi tenni ore se du gala 마셈 바랑왕 태창기 퍼기니 연대긴데 케기와리 뉴기와리 미바치 되면 지당고 순갈베 텐들 텐진데 와 중화도 베 로테당 아니 린진니 미바치 레미니 지당고 순갈 로차디요레 인디갈라 오네 즉 삼론 닌텐지 타이나 쉐탐제 덴버 머두원 짐발 로테당 타기나 바 수질라 마테 타기는 두 삼로딩이 따다 너저너저 차려요. 인디가라 야네양도 삼마다 두스치네 무드치 삼마다바이나 도스 펜다여제 겨름지 양네도 송도스. 이거는 즉 디린지 리제네 삼로 테시지 다니 유샤나 깨게 팽 말스 이점지 양nen데 양네양도 양양 삼마다고다 깨친 거예요.
So in the Sutra of the Transcendental Wisdom, or Perfection Wisdom, Perfection Wisdom, as we mentioned before, in the Sutra it says that beginning from the aggregate and until the achieving of enlightenment, the another way of saying is entire all phenomena by nature is lack of true existence, lack of true existence, and lack of true existence, and by nature, the nature of the phenomena is dependent origination. They rely upon each other for their existence. And when we talk about this, lack of true existence, dependent origination, what this does is it kind of directly contradicts and hurts our original way of apprehending things. We said before, the kind of the common way of apprehension that we ordinary human being have is that phenomena exist independently out there, objectively, self-sufficiently, and truly, but when we talk about lack of true existence, dependent origination, this understanding kind of directly contradicts what we have understanding before apprehension. And so the new understanding that contradicts the first understanding is that phenomena doesn't exist independently by themselves. They exist by relying upon each others. And so independent, objective, self-sufficient existence of phenomena is kind of the thought that we have is not sort of correct, or so there is like a direct contradiction between these two understanding or ways of apprehending phenomena. But the another way of saying is these two concepts. The first one is grasping to true existence of phenomena, and the dependent origination understanding. These two are directly contradictory to each other, but these two have one or same objective observation target. These two thoughts kind of targets at the same thing, but aiming at one target, but two different, totally contradictory, two different ways of apprehending phenomena. And as I said before, the first one is independent existence, and the second is independent origination. They don't. So here simply kind of listening to the teaching today and is not enough. You listen to the teaching and then continuously kind of spend more time thinking about how this could be true. What is why this is true. And his Holiness often kind of emphasized that we need to be thinking again and again over this important concept, and that way we can benefit from teachings and listening one time and not kind of reflecting upon again later won't be beneficial.
기초시 보고 뱅 말에 갈래 도스 잡거래 갈래 마잖아 요나 거래 요 말. 가르잖아. 지금이라 집에 도지 타마에베 녀메 따볼라제라. 잠반 에 초대다 니인세데니 에 굽라라고 때 곰게니 유유기니 굽라라고 하기니 굽때템 땐나도 그래서 갈래 짜린 그런 갈렌들이 있잖아. 아니 만나지 차그스 까나고 아니 대마이 먼저 올라마 종가바 쳔베 담버 퇴바게지 mondosa pardo jungu tamje dambarcha tama insen ko nyam sulang so sungwa ni de gala mende puni cha tu kanga zed ni tu ni kali kyab do anjo ngala ma tonga ba jumba indi gala to chede ngone kibu tamba singimi kyab wa tu tendi ji kali kyab wi na ngara so le tambo wa te a chang chang inde yin memo wa re sam tang ko re kali kyab wa re ata 생이 ngazon지 가도 깨게야 말이데 이나 가서 투투지 디제 아니 마음바나 겨울무지 되니 디지디 발라 semtam진 년거래 다게 겨울무지 되지 이제네 벌써야 요 말에 아니 가지 겨울무지 가르 숨고도 수화데 제루 맞지 니 랑게 가서 투투 잼베 중제니 마시버도 겨울무지 숨데 양내양도 양내양도 삼다 dos chebina ngoni chik phaba thaji chembi thugi jinlate ngoni dos juguro mado chi jerin jaji chawang ra zai halcha khabar to pete khabar to rangi kale jamna pending tape jeba kane huin jeba sungu jeba thugin jeba nani sungu jeba chore cho indang karjuna samlo ta dos china khurgi yongin chaje gi 코로나진지 수수칼리 잡이나 콜라이 차려 인지걸 숭은 잡아도 초임 받아 두스도 뭐 인지걸 서로 개침 버리지
And thinking over again and again basically we are talking about making effort, so again when we look back into the life stories of great masters, we can see how much effort that they made for their practice. A typical example, Milarepa, and we mentioned this before, when his student, sort of closest student, Thakpolhaji, asked him to give instruction or advice. What Milarepa did was raise up his robe and he showed his butt, and that was his instruction, his advice, so. Harden, skin of, meditating so long time, and that was his instruction. That so basically, you need to make an effort, work hard. That's and also Lama Tsongkhapa, in his advice, the verse in which he says that first starts beginning with the listening, and whatever you listen, contemplate, reflect upon. And then finally, day and night, practice what you contemplate and reflect upon. So, has to follow all these processes. And he, offered mandala using, rocks, and he until he kind of, worn the skin of his hand and arm. So. These are the effort made by great practitioners. If they made this kind of this level of effort, of course, for us, ordinary being needs to be working hard, and Geshe said, although he won't be able to kind of, give you the instruction or, the required because of his own kind of, lack of, sort of education or knowledge. But later, when we listen to His Holiness, then Geshe said, use your entire kind of consciousness to concentrate and focus on his teaching. From the three kind of ways of benefiting sentient beings, speech, mind, and body, speech is considered as the most supreme, most beneficial, because when you hear teachings from spiritual teacher, later you can think upon, you can practice it. Speech is therefore considered as most important. And so when you have an audience of His Holiness, simply kind of seeing his face and receiving maybe hand blessing is definitely not enough and not kind of a complete way of receiving his blessing. The proper way of receiving his blessing is concentrate, and then don't kind of make them forget later. Think over again and again. Keep continuing study until the end of your life, and through this, you can receive the blessings of the great practitioners of compassion. And this way, you can receive the blessing. Simply kind of seeing and handshaking is definitely not kind of enough.
Oda tendi indu gala, che condition yeshe chiri gala, kuno yaboji 장주기 semgi zimbaji gugu are, indi ke chisho ndumangil dan dangaso charmabo lapsare. Teso yana yambo samutani, permisibu ke chambure. Teje de ne ta linji tumoda tumo maimbi ni yube nani, tumoda kazan rotare. Linji tumoda de gala, shiringimbo maimbi, shijingin doda jenda tumo. 아니 셔 니티다 티 야동 바다 오다 때게 투모 인자 니시 투모하세 투모 많이 봤으니 딜라타페 셔링님 볼라 마도 젠달라 왕기 매 인자 투모 많이 봤자와 오다 데 인디가라 니시 투모 많이 바데 계산 로다 로르데 타파기 데스 점된데 자만나와 지자와 추기 남라 띵인진라 님버 주소 양때 시장주 서바서바 좀 파바체리 좀 완주게 셔럽게 바로도 저모치바니라 부몽하고 대달랑이 라지기 돈 많은 바 따오 신디다 니지 투모 많이 바차르데 디버도 저는 좀 파게 디에나 따게네 디버도 니지 투모 많이 바체 따티 가르지 대체 식도 도전은 투모 많이 반도 딜레 진전에 매 바세도 송도다 다가라래 대체 세야데 가르잖아 냠베 코 바게다 셔랭이 무슨 용도가라 장주세바 신도 한번 넣으시지 마봐 차요 말에 딘디 장주 지단의 시징인도 뇌 최대자의 누자 왕번 넣어버려 장주세바 왕번 넣어 디나는 신도 왕은 다 셔랭이 비체대자의 누자 차대요 딘디가라 대체 뒤게 개발수네 아니 바기 최대자의 눌자기 아니 눌자라 셔링이 뭐 대야기 유민바네 아니 뒤 개발 소스더래 뒤인딘디 질라니 베트줄라 까베기 때나 노트루마시 차대가 대순거래 근데 자모세야다 대체 자모랑 와서다 자모세인데 딱 그상만 사람하고 주래 자파 세두갈라 꼭 가보 삼로탕나 꼭 가보 찍거나 최탐제 상기 고 로지 빠임바 와다 딘데 자바레 잡기 켄디나 페데페 닌지보도와 자모 지자베 자모니 로라 차르카웨 나 페르나 츠나도 다와 닐데 주 차르 미카양 남칼라 차르카와타르 당문에 남갈리 바게 닐드 중인 쥐나라 닐다가 중인 차 가버와 남갈라 차 잘릴라 주 쥐나라 남갈라 차 가와 인자 코페 바게니 차례하기 즉 차르소나 즉고 만다지 다 얌선선지 차디어로 어디다 쓴거였어요. 눈인 차미가요. 남칼라 차가 왔다 군섭 차를 라진 당 알아주 낭줄 단다데 군섭 세비가라 리비체바 마제베토게 나랑도 낭줄 다가랑 군섭이 되는 즉 미치게 튀고 말이 깨게 저거 말도 지인데 군섭도 리비 따지기는 마단도 콜 렘상 차례라고 쳐도 와. 배 통례를 라보도 와. 다 파기데 다외 중인 닐다 중인 남칼라 차례나 진짜네. 남칼라 닐다 요베까지 데데 시가 말 중인데 남가 예로 와. 양초 때나진 대단 드라수 남칼라 차례 여러 세요 말와. 가보러 와. 대나진 지디 파기 전담데 문이 니루 웅에마데 또 가보래. 그 사무 땅나마도 또 가보래. 시자 미스비 페디 양 자고 말다야. 어디 카베까지 시고 어디 전담 차가오. 나와니 데이터부 잠이 김비 이시소 스타 파기 통람 파르체멜람 올람 파르체멜람 길로 야네 상기사 냠제 모치도 송이 어디 텐디 이시리자 어디 이시소 내가 한 지송잖아. 남 어디 남게 타차가 왔다 중인 charlajing tondam charkaos.
So going back into what we always remind ourselves before beginning at the teaching, that it's important to have a good intention, and for the intention we always remind ourselves about having true aspiration of altruistic mind, bodhicitta. And Geshe said we mentioned this many times before. And in the text we are dealing with we mentioned about I used kind of background information or preliminary information. There are two. The first one is general. The second is kind of unique to this text only, Heart Sutra. And the general one, we general here in the sense refers to the background information or preliminary part which exist in all other Heart Sutra texts. There are many different levels of Heart Sutra texts we mentioned before, right? So the second one, unique, is the only particular to this text only, essence of Heart Sutra. And this one, in the English translation, the second sentence of the first paragraph. At that very time as well, Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, beheld the practice itself of the profound perfection of wisdom, and he even saw the five aggregates as empty of inherent nature. So this is the unique, kind of background information or preliminary, intro only for this Heart Sutra. And so at that very time, he refers to the a very specific time of ripening ripening the root of creating a positive activities. Refers to a very specific time, and here the ripening of the root of creating a positive activities of the highly intelligent bodhisattvas. And if you remember, perfection of the Wisdom Sutra, the audience is intentionally only the high intelligence, from the three different scopes, the highest intelligence. And here, among the highest, among the high intelligence, this is the highest. So this teaching is meant or taught only for very particular kind of disciples who are extremely intelligent, and at that time here refers to the the timing of ripening the roots, positive root karma or activities, and at that very time, Holy Avalokiteshvara and Bodhisattva great being beheld the practice itself profound perfection of wisdom. Why it is called profound? And we also mentioned this before. Profound simply refers to difficult to understand by ordinary being, or profound, deep, and difficult to apprehend. And once we apprehend or understood, you can apply to all other human, all other phenomena. So here, profound or deep refers to the understanding of emptiness. We also mentioned the word, having a same taste. If you, got the taste of one phenomena, you can apply that to everyone. And here in the text, the example used here, it says that emptiness is difficult to apprehend or difficult to have understanding in our mind. The example used here is it is not surprising to see the reflections of moons and stars in a lake or ocean, in a water body, but we won't be able to see the reflection of entire sky in the ocean. That is kind of beyond our thought or beyond understanding. So that's example used here, and so that is how the ultimate reality of the phenomena is difficult to have an understanding in the mind of ordinary sentient beings, and it only must find through the analysis, through analysis, reasoning. And held the practice profoundly, and even so the fact of wisdom, and the wisdom of wisdom realizing that emptiness, or that profound perfection of wisdom. So this particular understanding, if you look at 5 paths where does a practitioner attain, and we mentioned this before, uninterrupted path of seeing, and for the at the stage of enlightened, those who achieve enlightenment, they have no kind of meditative and post-meditative, both ultimate and the conventional nature of the phenomena is understood or apprehended at the same time.
Oda chuki namra seyade pumbung chuki namra seyade la karzuna pumbunga kamtu keche jungi tigiti yungwares kamtu ta kamchege ta pumbunga karza zugi pumbu thara pumbu dishibu pumbu nabarshebe pumbu ngache ani lungayu ge kamtu tembao tenwambe kamtu temmanamshege kamtu kamchege dusu yungware ani keche 중이게 미게들 미게 루치니 이 기체버도 두체 아니 되게 율도 제도스치는 연구하래. 어다 이 계제 중인도 시작하고라. 어다 이 주기 남단스게 또 되게 연구하랬어.
He even saw the 5 at the very time as Holy Bodhisattva great being beheld the practice itself of the profound perfection of wisdom, and he even saw the 5 aggregates of the empty of inherent nature. The blessed one fully entered the meditative absorption of the varieties of. So I'm sorry. The sentence starts from the blessed one fully entered the meditative concentration on the varieties of phenomena called the appearance of the profound. This is where we are. I read the wrong sentence before. I said at that very time, but at that time is the correct one. But the blessed one entered the meditative concentration. The varieties of phenomena. The varieties of phenomena refers to 5 aggregates, and 18 elements and 12 sources of I think phenomena. So 5 aggregates, as you know, beginning from aggregate, and then feeling and so on, and come chupye.
No, you come to. Then one become two. Then one come to.
And this 18 elements, 6 of the object, and 6 of the senses, and 6 of consciousness. There are 3 sixes, and origin of sources. I think that's the correct word. Origin of sources. There are 12, and this refers to from I to senses. I sense to 6 sense organ, yeah, and then 6 object of those 6 senses, yeah. So 6 object of the 6 senses. So the varieties of phenomena basically refers to the aggregate elements and origin of sources.
Yang te sejibe yang rani ngezungutsi nyuji gyumin bi tukune tembao. Papa cherizi wanchu jebane susikyo la rindu papa tang. Rangi chengi semjen la ziche tamche lungal salwar jebe wambao. Ta zame chopane tombani la mi bao si. Zame chopa sede tongi nipe page luyudu charwat sungor. Zame chopane tombani la mi bao. Tingi le number tawane tetabi zambao. Pumunga botedala ranjingi. Pumunga botedala yang jibi yangdani. Pumpuza maze keje tantaji kondu jibe keje chungi kamchoge. Pumput maze keje tang kamlayang ranjingi tombe ton dila taoji iki pulne. Ma bulwani mata baozi. Du ngui kitun oda dusine pumunga batala ranjingi tombayan nambadi ganta batao sidi ranjingi sidigala ngaranso nangsul phagini yende bezoni nangsul jidwa. Odati pumpu tsamayimba kam choge yani kam tu yani kam choge kokare yidire. Odate mayimba keje chungi la ranjingi tu ya mare so oda dusine gacha letondam kebar tichile jar mado jenda tezola tenashin jar goresi labwarta te on thungura mi mezu name neme chemele dila jecha kangala ranjin larindena jeje ti de bocha gomara indigala gol di jar inza ju kanga te jar gure so te tondala te sungores.
I'm reading from the root text, second sentence, end of second. At that time, the Blessed One fully entered the meditative concentration on the varieties of phenomena called the appearance of the profound. At that very time as well, so again, emphasizing the same timing of the at that time we mentioned before, of and as well. As well here kind of so as well is the another way of saying in Tibetan is again, or as well, so kind of repetitive, and Kuchila said he's not sure whether that repetitive word in Tibetan is translated in English, because I'm trying to find the translation which is actually word to word translation, which is best for this teaching, because Geshe-la is going through the words to words explanation. So if the translation is, I have actually here.
그 여름이 송그레. 치트 잠시 밖에 인디지 tun다지. 잘 듣는다. 나랑게 하시라 하고 말했어.
So like I said, the main meaning of the text, of course, will explain perfectly later by His Holiness. But here we are trying to just kind of, as we said before, unfold these knots of the words. So we are trying to explain the words here, and so if you listen to His Holiness teaching, oftentimes what he does is he explain the main meaning of the text, and then he just goes through the words just by reading. So what is important is to understand the meaning, so what I was saying is that trying to look at the word-to-word translation, and I think with me I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different translations. The one that you have is I think very close to the translation of Thupten Jimba, His Holiness translator. So therefore, I'm it's close. The as well. This is the word that we are discussing. As well, or again, here refers to not only the varieties of phenomena, but also as said before, elements, sources of origin. These are all also we mentioned this before. The object of negation is not used for each and every phenomena. When it says lack of it will later come in the text. No ear, no eyes. It doesn't says doesn't explain no. It simply says no. So here the object of negation or the no part is explained at the beginning of the
me message, me rajing to a message, me pagin a message. See, crop sutu to the message of Gormado, me means the Legormas. What is Gajal Tundam Kever Musuma, the Gajal Tundam Kever Musuma Sarventore. She's in the Gendat, Gajal Tundam Kever Jarventore. In the Suksiru,
So we mentioned this before. This text, when you read, one example: no eye, no ear. The text doesn't tell kind of it doesn't repeat lack of inherent existence, lack of independent existence for each thing. So in the text, at the beginning of the paragraph, you will see lack of independent existence or lack of true existence. And then, it says no ear, no eye. But again, as said before, it doesn't mean that, eye doesn't exist. Of course, eye exists, ear, likewise, ear, nose. But they don't exist, independently or objectively or self-sufficiently. So, these kind of ways of existing, is not mentioned for each particular. It is all mentioned at the beginning of the section. So that's why one reason why this text is much shorter than other. So in the other text of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, you will see this in the characteristic of that object doesn't exist independently, self-sufficiently, objectively is written literally for each of the phenomena. Therefore, other Perfection of Wisdom Sutra are much longer than this essence of Heart Sutra.
Oda dongwe kitana sum sharibu diwache sul ta niji de sarne dongma de kala karashi gorna sharibu ani pe diwache sul jerize ki lende sul tela tembe jisu inanse sul ta devandi na thungirche sul sa sungdo ta jisu inanse bata thungirche bata ta chamden de ge phaga ti thu tingin jinle 이 주네 배 셰리불라다 배 디와트소 나한테서 점점 찡길라 그러 어때 됐은 거래 좀 봐대 되네 사기 투 세단된 바 셰리부 이제 지탈 라퍼차지 다 디포트는 거 지탈 라퍼차지 그거라 되네 사기 투 세단된 바 셰리부 전주 서바 서바죠 바바치리도 원출은 되게 메소 리기부 강라라 시리기 버는도 너무 좁은도 지달라 버짜스다 la perchasa di porto ta shirjingi dola kandesi la bure ta tiwa te sheribu tiwa chama shere e chomden digi hagi thu tingin zele juni chingi la bon cher ma da sheribu rangwani tiwa che gi hagi di me inza kazan golando so te pota te
From the second paragraph, thereupon, through the Buddha's inspiration, starts the actual root text. So the first paragraph, as we said before, is kind of introductory, preliminary or background information, and there's the two background information. Sort of one is general for all, Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, and one is unique or particular to this text. And now from here, thereupon, through the Buddha's inspiration, starts the actual kind of text. And for the actual text, there are three kind of subdivisions or category. And the first one is the how Shariputra raised the question. First Shariputra asked the question, how Shariputra asked the question, and second is answer or response by Avalokiteshvara, Buddha of compassion, and third one is third category is Buddha's own kind of appreciation for this discussion. So these are the three, section. So the first one, how Shariputra raised the question, and as we said before, this all happens, because of the Buddha's blessing, or because of the Buddha's staying in deep concentration. So Shariputra by himself is not capable of involving into this kind of discussion of emptiness. So here Buddha blessed, and so so first the question part by Shariputra. So thereupon, through the Buddha's inspiration, the venerable Shariputra spoke to Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and said, and so this is the question here: any noble son who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should train in what way? So this is the question by the Shariputra. And another translation, this one here is close actually. How should any noble son or noble daughter who wishes to engage in the practice of perfection of wisdom train? This is kind of more. So this is the question.
What did you sit on them bars? The chiri do you na Yungore sit on them bars goyade. Chỉ jumbalum bapa chỉ nhãs, cái chế độ them bars cái bự chỉ đấy đấy. Chỉ đi nè, cái đi cấp số chung với chỉ inayang, Sharipu dua pola lapa jumba mitepe. Nên những mong phong chỉ lên những cái chung vào lại rồi chế độ them bars gì, nhiều chỉ cái mấy bài nó sẽ ở đó đấy, chỉ chế độ them bars thì nhiều chỉ là thôi, chỉ giả sử ta, tuần đại những bữa đấy, nhiều mong function lengi chingwale tole na chadam dem bas tadi one yaboda chadam dem bas de wala ngarang to chik paki one samta thungenji nyomola nyimi to ta thungenji oda ti sungwe sai in kichi paki ta nyomo wange ngajo korwali chingyorwa ta tilipe doleage loshiki tuschiveina eni chamden de thungibu ngorwa Tapi sungguh ini siapa? Sharipu jabani lende dambi satu cakari ke ming tantawe ma shari katam. Hai jaldu le dibe namsel ki buba kyuji chungwe phale trape ming ni jalta male trape ming sharipu. Sharatotipu ni reimbes. Ta Chik Pagi Sharipu Siade, Sharatodipu Siade, Juntan the Sungu Sare, Ota Rimbe, Riki Puta Riki Pumone, Tijingi, Ridal Dembena, Toinos, Puta Pumuni Mepecobani, lam dang topi yundan tamse hewa tang pume ki ten kona le heji oda pume ki ui karsane pagi kewan jinda pume ki ten kona le jingarwa ichi din su sungwese heji zamata maning so ki tenla mikewa tedala ngarwe cheto se oda pume sidigala zamata maning sidigala karse 생이 빠진 아니 안 분명히는 때니 가게 부게 니바면 되게 어떻게 수순 거였어 텔레비전 가서 티든 가르와레스 배 제동아도 답하게 리 네바 기대 니바 용이지 어떻게 수순 거 대인들은 니나 강라 라제바니 제자 마체바 뽕바니라 마자지 메바단 될로 어디 suy rung rung je pao ta zamu chepa zamme chepa cheprando pa chitar la parjachi shijing sula zamu chepa den delatu langcha cheprando pa nyam sulemba do ba chitar lamar chi kandisi ta nyam su lencha karare ani chupa kandishiki nyamla lengora tate sunguye sare otati chik tibare se sungwara otat yang tinan shiringimbo pagi si khashe nala chupa cheprando pas chungane mata barese 제pa chepardo pas langores tina nyamsul langcha dang langche o di cheparayores sungorsa chepa dang chepa ne dupcha ta dupches dupcha ni khar lam kar kandichi lam kandichi dupore dupchi chepa bu kandichi ki dupura otate sungor otati dindigala chepa chepardo pas ti sungor coba dapat sebenarnya mata pada semua. Ini mune tadi orang desa itu pacar cerita. Otak cepat sih sergi perlu cemba, sergi perlu lah lam 파르드 침바들라 계산 건로서 중셔진 라 퇴소지 되는 람 셔진 냠소랑 톱자된 데 부셔진 자료 어떻게 숨겼어요
spoke to the Holy Great Being and said, thereupon, through the Buddha's inspiration, the Venerable Shariputra spoke to Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, and said, any noble son who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should train in what way? The second paragraph in the root text. So thereupon, is the word here. So thereupon here refers to the as we said before, Buddha in the deep concentration. So with the understanding of the, because of the blessings by the Buddha, the Avalokiteshvara kind of understood the meaning, or maybe here the questions of the Shariputra. Venerable, I think that's the word, because when you look at the Tibetan text, there's a very particular meaning for words in Tibetan text, and I don't know that one is that's the exact word in the English or not. So venerable is used in both translations that I'm looking here. Chir Shumbala Beber Dawage in the Signian Signi Kadu Kapsu Chungwe Signi Shari Puka de Bole Laba Shumba David and Human Function. So venerable here, in Tibetan word, this word actually, in the original text comes from the word comes during the gathering of the Buddhist teaching, and so this word is often used, during that discussion of that teaching, and so the same word is used here. So, of course, we are talking here about Tibetan word Sedan Demba, not venerable itself. So, and the meaning here is the one who has eliminated delusions, and one who has totally liberated from the cycle of birth and death. So therefore, when one is totally free from this cycle of ignorant death and birth, birth and death, one becomes the Tibetan word Sedan Demba is the word which literally means
tundu chibu jirwa. Dindri jawa chagin jila ta teli kyampe tu nyebu chibu jirwa. Kon doba de tendi jiyo indigala, di chengin del, di najin jiche yungun dela, ngabo chibu le jirwa.
Sedan Demba le jiyo sedan demba. Kiwa de chibu le drobe ki sedan demba.
Kiwa nyumong panchin. Eni ling nyumong ki kichi le drowa. Tonda da wati. Tendi ji chomdende gomba kona te thirdu gombade semjin dungal kyomde en khorwale tonde te gomba thirdu le yuyerwa ta tendi ji jege nyamsu lengen ji ina tape tu nyebu shuji yanta sedal demba sero ta tendi gi nyamsu lengen sheri pusite sunga ese.
So venerable, we just said before, one who has eliminated, defilement, delusions, and one who is free from the, cycle of, life and death by delusions or defilements, and therefore, one who has kind of the literal translation would be long life, eternal life, and here, this word is used as to symbolize the closeness of Buddha's own practice with the practice of the Shariputra. Shariputra is involved in kind of this kind of practicing, freeing himself from the cycle of life and death, by ignorance and delusion. So Buddha himself has also been involving in this kind of. So it kind of signifies the closeness of himself and the Shariputra. Sharipu Shebani Nalendam Dambuchedu
Chakrika Dawi
Chakagin and Masharikadang Pakarki. So the text defines why. Why kind of defining literally what Shariputra. So, Shariputra. Shari is the name of the. Here it says the name of the bird. Name of the bird, which kind of. Which kind of hangs around or lives around the garden of the Nalanda, and there's a bird called Shari. So the he has the eye that looks like the that bird of So Putra means basically son. In Sanskrit, Shari Putra means son of Shari. So because he has an eye that looks like the eye of that bird. Shari Tadebu. Shari Tadi Rik. Shari Putra.
That is Rik.
Here, this the name Shari Putra, Shari Tadi Tadi is the another word that is in Tibetan text. I don't know whether this is in the part of Shari Putra or not. Dadi refers to the family lineage or classes, because in the name that in Tibetan text or probably in the Sanskrit text is Shari Tati, then Putra. So there's a Tati in the middle of Shari and Putra, which is not in the Sanskrit. In the English you just say Shari Putra. There's a word in the middle which signifies or represents the family class or family type or family lineage. Any noble son, they up until the Buddha says the Venerable Shariputra spoke to Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva great being, and any noble son, probably a noble son, I guess. Noble son, Riki
Putra, Riki Pumochevin, Tejini Rital Dembagos. That Tejin Ri Sidigala, Rital Demba, Candesi Horizona, Namden Tito.
The engine our proof machine.
Mide, Pumide.
When this and the land answer, the land of the greatness will share by noble sense of which adoration. The third paragraph, when this had been said, Holy Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, spoke to Venerable Shariputra and said, so we just explained the Shariputra, Sharidadiputra, which the longer version, said Shariputra and his noble sons or daughters who wish to practice the perfection of wisdom should see this way. Any noble here refers to the those who belongs to the lineages of Mahayana. Puda Pumanime Bega one Lamdo and
Little Demba Kandisa, teaching Ris. Or Changisabach.
Person Yoro Gishel,
Your person Chachana. Read it, you go Pagit Tat and the door.
We'll take a break, and then after break, Gishel said he's going to talk briefly about why there is why when we use the word lineage or class or family. So he's going to explain about that from the another text.